Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another edition of CWS WWE Breakdown. I'm your host, Zachary Chavy, joined by one of my co-hosts today, Christian Whitehead. What's going on, brother?
What's going on is the fact that WWE has an issue with everything under the sun. Okay, that's what's going on. I don't know what's happening, but WWE has an issue. It has a problem. Considering SummerSlam tickets are the cheapest ever, we have a lot to unpack, especially after that tragedy of a Monday Night Raw that we just watched 2 days ago. So let's get into it. But I'm a little, I'm disappointed. That's to say the least.
Well, before we get into it, Chris, there's something I gotta tell you, man. LeBron! I tried to tell you. LeBron James, obviously, last time we all were together a video, me and Chris were going back and forth about where LeBron was going to sign. And, of course, my prediction was right, and he signed with the 76ers. So now the Sixers have a lineup of Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid. And Chris is left with this lineup of Steph Curry, Brendan Bodemski, Yaxel Lenenberg, Draymond Green, who they just re-signed, and Kristaps Porzingis, which is absolutely beautiful. Chris, how about you share your thoughts real quick? Because LeBron James is a 76er.
First of all, let's get something straight, okay? This is a since this is a WWE pod, I won't go super in depth. But what I will say is this: LeBron James to the Sixers is great for the city of Philadelphia. It's also not the best for Steph Curry, considering the Warriors right now. We absolutely stink. We're dog water. Okay, I don't know why we re-signed Kristaps Porzingis. What are we doing? And Al Horford. What are we doing? And the Draymond. Listen, woof. Okay, the Sixers have a real chance to win them. They're definitely the favorites. I don't care about the Knicks right now. I'm taking the Sixers as the favorites in my opinion. Here's what I will say, Zach, to end. If you guys don't win, now that you have LeBron, if the 76ers do not make the conference finals, you should make the finals. But if you don't make the conference finals, pack it up. Have Joel Embiid retire, pack his bags. The process is over. But for right now, y'all got it. I don't have anything to say. Sixers got it. Okay.
Yes, sir. And hey, maybe we'll go get Curry next offseason. So,
I'll take it. Take him away.
all right, let's get into it. Our SummerSlam predictions. Obviously, we both know the nights, or we both know matches, what's going to be on each night. We don't know the match order, so I base the match order based off what I want to see happen at SummerSlam and how everything transpires. First
Mm.
match I'm going to talk about here, or we're going to talk about here, is for the Women's World Championship between Io Sky and Liv Morgan for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Chris, let me ask you a few questions here. One, how are you feeling ever since we found out this match was going to be official, and what are your thoughts on the build leading up to SummerSlam here?
Personally, I think the match itself will be better than the build. That's my personal thoughts. I think the build has been um to me it's just been plain. I just don't really care. Just to me personally. I'm very critical. I just have my own opinions. I just really don't care about the build. The reason why I'm excited is because of the match itself. And just recently, I don't know what this could lead to, but as you know, Raquel Rodriguez just won the IC title, right? So what that can lead to in terms of rivalry down the road with who knows, but that was more exciting to me than anything than the whole build in the last couple weeks. But the match itself, it's between two of the best women in the division right now, Io Sky and Liv Morgan. If I had to predict the winner, um, I'm gonna go with Io Sky. I think Liv Morgan's held the title long enough. Now, how Io Sky wins? Is it something with Raquel Rodriguez? Is it something with Stephanie Vaquer? I don't know. I'm just putting things out there. But I think I would push towards Io winning, taking the title back up to the top of the division, and we ball from there. Or the second option is you have Liv win, and then you can do the rivalry with Raquel and Vacker with the title. But I don't think it needs a title to continue these rivalries, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'll say. It should be a good match. I believe this match is on night one. Um, by the way, we'll talk about this after. Night one, it's not even close. Night two is tragic. Okay, they need to switch that up because night two is unwatchable. It really is. That's all I'll say.
I agree with you with the fact that this match is going to be good. The build, on the other hand, though, and we'll talk about this night two. I do agree with you on that, except for a few matches that I'm excited for. The overall basis of night two is pretty dreadful. But let's talk about this match. I want to talk about how we got to this match. Obviously, Queen of the Ring, Liv Morgan, Io Sky. You know how I felt about that. I don't think Liv Morgan should have been in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Obviously, you could say, oh, there wasn't enough worthy opponents for her to go against the Women's World Championship. And obviously, at this point, it seems like they're waiting for Stephanie Vaquer. But let's go back to that point. She gets cursed by Danhausen and then loses to Io Sky. Danhausen is still part of this storyline if you want to look at it this way. If you realistically look at it, he's still part of it in a way because he's come out with Io Sky like a few weeks, and he's still part. Like, say he can still come out because I think his match is night two against Dominic Mysterio. Who's to say he doesn't curse Liv and Io? Because then that is also ruining this thing too. They didn't have a bad match at Queen of the Ring, but you knew who was going to win. Obviously, it probably was very favored that Io was going to win, but we knew who establishedly was going to win when Danhausen cursed Liv Morgan. And I just think him being involved in this, although I love his gimmick and what he's built up ever since getting here, this is the kind of stuff he needs to stay out of. And I think a perfect representation of this is obviously he's feuding with the Judgment Day, but at the same time, look at the bloodline and look at Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. They're not contradicting each other at all. We maybe had a little segment with Solo and Seth, but Solo, LA Knight, Royce Keys, and the bloodline are keeping on their side, and Roman and Seth, although the build hasn't been the best, they're staying organically to themselves and just basing it off the history they have with each other. So I am excited for this match. I am going to agree with you that Io Sky is going to win this. I would say with Raquel Rodriguez if Liv Morgan cost her again with that women's IC title. But now that I think she's won, I think Raquel Rodriguez kind of has no reason to be mad at Liv. As she still has a reason to be mad at her, but for what she's done, kind of like being her kind of being her backup, then Liv Morgan screwing her over at the Royal Rumble, screwing her over to win the Women's World Championship when we were there in Philadelphia. And then all these other opportunities that Liv then eventually wins, and then she just kind of cares about herself, and you can see how that affects Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez could be the one that cost Liv Morgan. That I could see because she helped out Raquel Rodriguez. Liv is already dealing with her issues. Liv doesn't seem like to care about Roxanne Perez because she kind of just seems her as like the little puppy dog that she just tells her to do her bidding for. That I could see. But if anything, if anybody's going to cost his, it's going to be a returning Stephanie Vaquer. And I think we already saw the building blocks for it. Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer feud does not need the Women's World Championship. That could be a feud within itself. It was a beautiful build to WrestleMania. The match was completely terrible. But it could also be then another thing. Now that Sol Ruka's lost the title, what about a first feud with Io Sky possibly and Sol Ruka? I know it's a little bit early, but that could absolutely cook. So I think Io Sky is going to win this either in one or two ways. Stephanie Vaquer cost her, or Roxanne Perez cost her, and either one who cost her will have a mini feud with them post SummerSlam. That's my prediction. And either way, though, Io Sky I think is winning the Women's World Championship. Not because Liv Morgan doesn't deserve to take the title off her. It's just they kind of ruined her enough at this point, and it's kind of no going back.
Yeah, and I don't think her title run was really a title run. She didn't. It was kind of lackluster to me. So it's like at this point, give it to Io. But like you said, Sol Ruka and Io Sky first. What? That would be nasty. And I totally agree with you with the Roxanne Perez. That's an easy thing they can do right there. Everything is already together for that, so that would make sense as well. But yeah, it's between Vaquer and Roxanne. Those are the two.
Totally agree. So, well, moving on from that match, we'll move on to the next one. We kind of previewed it a little before the 6-man tag
You called
match.
this.
I did. I absolutely called this. I don't know. Did I call this? And I forget who I called it in the sense of I was either talking about like Fatu or LA Knight. I know that to say the least. And I was like, oh, they're just going to throw them together for a tag team match. I will say, although they kind of throw them together, they have at least had some good segments, whatever the heck you want to call it. Like, I think this organically has made its way into SummerSlam and actually makes a lot of sense. They're Solo Sikoa doesn't like the Bloodline, although he was in it. LA Knight said this is what exactly was going to happen with the Bloodline, and then Royce Keys kind of got thrown into it. I knew that there was going to be a guy like that, if they were going to do this, that he'd be thrown in there, and he at least has history with Fatu, so there's a little bit of that. But let me ask you this, Chris. Are you more intrigued on the match or what could possibly happen post-match with, I'll say it after, but are you more intrigued with this match or what could possibly happen post-match based on the winner?
I think the easy answer is to say what's going to happen post match, but I think this match could steal the weekend. Yes, I think the match can steal the weekend. You have 6 guys here who are great in the ring, I would say, and it's the Usos and Fatu against Solo, who could turn. We don't know. He can turn. Okay. And by the way, he's been great. Like the story's been great too, especially with Solo and how he's like kind of edging a face turn and the crowd loves him and he's chanting the crowd. It's been great. Love to see it. I kind of hope Solo stays face in some capacity. He's great. He's much better as a heel. I mean, he's much better as a face than a heel to me because as a heel, he's been boring. Um, and then LA Knight, who's just he's still LA Knight. I think it can be a really good match. Now, will I say that I think it's probably going to be a short match and one of the matches that Triple H does like a 5-6 minute 3-on-3? Woo, yeah. But if he doesn't, it could be a really good match. But in terms of what can happen after the match, brother, Solo can go to the Bloodline. Okay, we don't know. What if Solo could go back to the Bloodline? I don't think he will, but he might because of War Games. You know what I mean? Because I feel like they're already setting up War Games, and right now you have Jey Uso, Jimmy, Fatu, Roman Reigns. Who's the fifth? I would assume it would be Solo. Now against who? I don't know yet. Maybe just a group of I don't know, but it seems like that could be the case at War Games, or early War Games prediction. So he might turn. Um, but it's exciting to see. It's exciting. That's all I'll say. What do you think? What do you think will happen after the match?
I think wholeheartedly that Solo is going to turn, but here is the interesting fact about everything. The Bloodline is not a heel faction. They're a babyface faction because
They're
they're
supposed to
over
be a babyface faction.
They are. They basically are because the way you look at it is the Usos. They come out, they high five the crowd, they still do the yeet. And Fatu, although he's not like he's never really
That's
been an interactor
yeah.
with the
That's
crowd,
like the
he's just that wild card that like the fans are either gonna cheer him or boo him. He got booed early on because he was part of Solo's Bloodline 2.0. So he was just part of that, just like Tama and Tangaloa did.
yeah.
And Solo, like you said, he's been working great as babyface. But if he joins back the Bloodline, you kind of cut off his throw, and he's really not the talker of the group. He kind of just becomes a background character like Fatu. I mean, like maybe because obviously Solo in the Bloodline was what Fatu was right now.
Yes, and now if Fatu's there, Solo can take a different role and continue what he's been doing. That would be box office.
That would be because if you realistically think about it, it's also tough because it's like Solo left the group to make another Bloodline. But at the same time, he could be forced. Like I think the Usos and Fatu are going to walk away with the win here. That's my prediction. I think it could be a situation because obviously we saw it at WrestleMania with the Usos and LA Knight versus Vision and Speed. I think there's a different angle where the Bloodline has more to gain from this win, or not necessarily gain, but like they have more deeper things. And it's like LA Knight brings us up time and time again. The Bloodline was eventually going to form back together. Who's to say Solo Sikoa doesn't join back? And then at another thing, it's like LA Knight. I know this is crazy and might possibly be down the road. You're talking about War Games. What if LA Knight wins the Money in the Bank and the Bloodline costs him against Roman Reigns when he tries to cash it in? That could be something right there. But I know that's down the road and stuff like that, and they don't actually put that much trust in LA Knight to lead a War Games team. but still. And I think it's just in the sense where I think Solo, it would be, but it's so weird. It's like, if he does that, he's not really it would be an organic heel turn, but at the same time, he's bickering between the two right now, and he'd be doing it to a faction that already is babyface, kind of, majority. Because Roman and the Usos are babyface, and Fatu's just that guy. He
He's
can
like
be
a
whatever
tweener.
you want. He can be
Yeah.
whatever you want him to be. He could be a heel one night. He could be a babyface the other night. It's that simple. And then I think LA Knight and Royce Keys are just kind of left on the short end of the stick here, and they might get the post match. I think it's gonna be the Usos and Fatu that win. I think it's gonna be Solo Sikoa that just eventually joins the Bloodline because he knows it's just easier for him to join the Bloodline than to feud with him. Because I love Solo on the mic when he's a babyface because he just makes you want to laugh out loud when he starts talking. So,
Yes.
and I
And
love
you saw a little preview of that when he was a heel too, and on the mic. You see he has that like.
and you see it when he's out like with the community or stuff like that, or not like when he's and then I loved what he did when he put the hand up, but then did the Samoan spike like you thought he was
Yeah,
joining back the
that was
Bloodline and he didn't.
hilarious.
So what Solo's been, but I think the Usos and Fatu are going to win, and we're going to have Solo join the Bloodline. I think it's written in the stars, and they want to get the Bloodline back on top. That's why they kind of form them back together. It's a different
Because ratings
kind of,
are low and ticket sales are low, and WWE can't formulate new things.
they
They
have to
try
go
to
back to their
formulate.
money
They
grabber.
have to go back to the money. Hey, brother, they try to. You know what happened? They try to create a new faction, the Vision. Now, granted, injuries did take a part, but even with that, still, that was a total failure. Okay, nobody cares now. At least I don't. Listen, I just don't.
It's crazy what a year makes. It's crazy what a year makes. How the Vision was Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Seth Rollins. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were fighting Jey Uso and Roman Reigns at the first match of night one. Seth Rollins came back from his fake injury, cashed in on CM Punk, and the Vision was on top of the world. Now, Braun Breaker, who's supposed to be the top guy of that faction, is a background character to Maxine Dupree and Austin Theory.
Maxine Dupree. I don't know what's going on with Braun Breaker either. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what they're doing and how they're going to get out of this, but that's a different subject.
Yeah. Are you agree with me on being the Usos and Fatu are going to win? Or do you think
No,
he's
definitely.
okay?
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. So moving on to the next match, another six person tag match. Fatal Influence versus Brie Bella Page and the returning Nikki Bella. Chris, I see your face there. Is this your designated bathroom break match?
Yeah, I really don't care. I feel like this whole, I just, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't. I think WWE has an issue, Zach. Their their storylines and the things that they're doing, at least right now, to me, they're not making me intrigued or excited with most of them. This being one of them. Nikki Bella did just return. That's great. Woo! Right, Nikki Bella, you can look, but you can't touch. Right. But I'm ready to see. Here's my thing. I don't even have much to say about this match because I just don't care. I have a question for you, Zach. When, where, and how do you think? Because I think the time's gonna come where Nikki Bella turns on her sister or Paige, one of them, and creates that dynamic where we get a match. Do you think that's closer to WrestleMania? And they wait that out. What do you think about that? Because that's bound to happen, considering Paige took Nikki Bella's title spot at WrestleMania.
Okay. Well, I'll say this. I'll break it down fully. I'll break it down into this match and how I can see it impacting everything like that. I think Fatal Influence should walk away with the win here. You could do that as early as this match, post match, because
Really?
I think if anything, Nikki Bella would turn on Paige and the Bellas, because you've seen the Bellas like turn on that third partner they did with Ronda Rousey all the way back in 2018. And this could be the leeway to have WrestleMania 31 rematch of Paige and AJ Lee versus the Bella Twins. And I think that's still a high key matchup, but I don't think they would wait all the way to WrestleMania for that. That might be something that they throw at Money in the Bank. Like they could build that, and they need some matches most of the time for Money in the Bank because the money, women's and men speak for themselves. So this could be a nice little match they throw in there and build up to that. I think it could happen as early as this post match. Just Fatal Influence needs to win this match. I don't know if you saw when I recorded the Saturday Night's Main Event prediction, but I was so much into Fatal Influence having to win the tag team championship. I'm so happy they did. They
I'm
need
happy they won too.
yeah. And then Nikki Bella, I know that's returning, so they love to have the returning people win. But Fatal Influence, I think, needs this win to pump them up even more. They're starting to get the momentum. They had the momentum already coming in because they were getting that crowd reaction the second they got called up. Then WWE kind of flatlined them. But now they're back up again. They have the Women's Tag Team Championship. It looks like JC Jane's going to go after the United States
The
Championship
United States,
after this,
yeah.
which I'm happy about, but I so much wanted her in that ladder match for the Women's Interim Championship. Even if she didn't win, that would have been the perfect stage for her to really show off her talent. But if she goes after Tiffany Stratton and then she wins the United States Championship, wouldn't you know it, it's exactly like the Shield all over again. The two of them with the tag team championships, and then the top one at that time. Or you can have the debate if Dean Ambrose was the top guy at that time, but still, like the other person was United States champion. And I see that in them. They each have their own ability to eventually break off with each other and be single stars. But as this group right now, they had the momentum. Have them win this match. Maybe start it right there because, I mean, AJ Lee's been off for how long at this point? Like, since WrestleMania? She's eventually going to have to come back. She signed a long-term contract with WWE, and she knows this is it for her, but at the same time. And I just think Fatal Influence bounces more off this win, and I think, answering your question a little bit more, it could happen as early as this post-match. AJ Lee could eventually come back to help Paige even the odds, and that could be a match that eventually culminates at Money in the Bank.
100% agree. And there's no way. I think it would be a disservice to have Fatal Influence lose this match, because you have them win the tag titles and then they're gonna lose in a three-way tag team match. I think that would be dumb.
And then if you do that, it kind of keeps the Bellas or Brie Bella and Paige still in the tag team division.
Good. Yeah. No. Yeah. Get that out. Yeah. This should be a good match. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's. I think you talk about the other match, Gina 5-6. This could be a quick match too, just a 6-woman tag match, but it could have more fireworks. Yeah. We'll see though. But moving on from that, the next match. This match. Oh, I see you doing that. I am the same way. I'll let you go first, and then I'll go.
Brother, I'm so excited. This is something like this is what WWE needs to do. This is fresh, exciting. It's different, and we've all been waiting for the return of Nick Aldis, for the return of Magnus, as he used to be called. And depending on how this match goes, brother. First of all, I love the build. It's been great with in the ring and the table, backstage, everything. It's been great. It's been a great time, right? Everything about it has been. It's two meaty men. It's two big guys. Okay. First of all, let's already. I think I said this last video, Zach. Let's dead the career killer. That joint is cooked. Unless they're trying to bring it back with this, and they're gonna have Nick Aldis come back for a one-off, and they're gonna say, "Oh, you killed his career," and he goes back to GM. If that's not the case, kill that gimmick. It's dumb. It's done. You already messed it up when you had him lose to freaking who did he lose to? Freaking Cody Rhodes. That was stupid. Okay, let's cut that out. Okay. This match, brother, again, has the ability to steal the show. If Nick Aldis puts his best foot forward and kills it. I'm so excited. Now, I have a question for you, brother, because I don't know. I'm under the assumption they're going to have Gunther win, because I don't see them having Nick Aldis come back for one match, his first match, and beat Gunther. I'm going to say Gunther's going to win. I also can see like a second match coming out of this. But depending on how Aldis does, brother, leave him in the division. We've seen him as the GM. It's been great. I've also heard crazy rumors. This is just Twitter rumors. This is Twitter rumors, okay? That I heard Aldis, if he stays in ring, Carmella will come back and be the GM of SmackDown. This is just Twitter rumors. This is Twitter, okay? And my thing is, brother, I would totally love that.
That's wild.
I would totally love that as long as we see Nick Aldis in the ring. If he kills it, brother, I want him to stay. He doesn't need to go back to GM. He does not. Or if anything, just have Adam Pearce do double duty again. But in terms of the match, brother, SummerSlam, I think this is night one. It's going to be great time. I'm going to have Gunther win, but it should be a great, meaty match that should show Nick Aldis's abilities in the ring as well. But the build has been A1.
I totally agree. I think this match kind of reminds me a lot of when they did Gunther and Pat McAfee, but the only difference is, like you said, I want Nick Aldis to stay in it, but I think this is going to be the case where Gunther wins, but Nick Aldis loses, but is also a winner in this match, where he shows off and shows that he still got it. I like the Carmelo thing, but I also wouldn't be surprised, and I love this a lot, if they asked AJ Styles to step in as the SmackDown GM after Gunther retired him, and AJ Styles, like another guy that Gunther can't stand as the GM. So, and I saw this in a recent interview. AJ Styles still has that one match that both guys get when they retire. So that could be something down the road. I'm just saying. I think that, but I agree with you in the stance where Gunther should win this match, but Nick Aldis should be the ultimate winner out of this match. I'm so excited to see what he offers in the ring because I've only seen a teeny bit of him in TNA. But I'm so excited to see what he can do on a big stage like this in SummerSlam, and I hope Gunther's ready for it because it's going to be a brawl, to say the least, and I'm so excited for it. So, but moving on from that, the next match, the kid gets even. Hell in a Cell, Oba Femi, Brock Lesnar, the trilogy complete here in Minneapolis. Chris, go first. Go right ahead.
I have a couple of things to say. Number one, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell, the trilogy, Game 3, the final one. Most likely, 90% chance, right? I'm going to start off with this before I get to anything within the match itself, Zach. There's only one way, one possibility that should occur. And that's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins main eventing night 2. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell, main eventing, meaning the last match of the show on night 1. I don't care about what anybody else says. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, especially with the way the crowd has reacted to him on certain shows, and just the vibe of that rivalry right now, to me, especially pair that with the fact that this is a 90% chance Brock Lesnar's final match in the WWE. It's a Hell in a Cell match, and it's against a man who has probably had the most hype against Brock Lesnar in years. And someone who is like a Brock Lesnar replacement once he retires, in a way. He's going to be a force. He's going to go insane. The year he's had without holding one title, could you imagine if he had a title? What he's going to do with the title? The storylines that can happen with the title. What? Oba Femi's that dude. Zach, if you don't have this main event the show as being a multi-minute match, 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, Hell in a Cell, everybody goes crazy, bumps, blood, whatever. And then at the end, you have Oba Femi, okay, conquering the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar. He goes into the sunset. It's a crazy thing. Crowd claps. Woo! He retires right there. You're going to tell me you're going to do all this and have them start off the night? Even worse, don't have this be the second to last match either. I don't want that either. Because I can see them having this the second to last match and then Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. That would be so. You're going from high stakes, crowd loving to then CM Punk Cody Rhodes match, which the energy has been much lower. And you tell me if I'm wrong. Much lower. It's not even close. This is something that if WWE, if Triple H, whoever's in charge, messes this up, I don't know what they're going to do in the future. I have no hope. Especially with the way WWE's been moving and Monday Night Raw this past freaking show with Danhausen and Joe Hendry singing. Okay? The WWE has been poor. Okay? Now, in terms of the match, brother, it should be a great match. Obviously, I have Oba Femi winning. I would be shocked if he doesn't. I would also be shocked if Brock Lesnar does not retire because there's nobody else for him. This is it. But the feud has been great. Like the weigh-in that they just did, and you saw that Oba Femi lost weight, and he's more toned, but he's still big. I think they weighed the same. I think Oba or Brock was like 1 pound above. Yeah, like that's crazy.
Brock was 305. Oba was 304.
That's insane, brother. So it should be a great match. I want to know what you think in terms of who's gonna main event. If you think that matters, and who you think's gonna win.
Well,
And if you think Brock's gonna retire.
Okay, I'm gonna get this right off the bat now. Oba Femi is winning. But let me break this down in a few ways. If this is in the start of the show, absolutely monstrosity. It's terrible, worst decision ever made. Even if Brock doesn't retire, because this, like you said, this match deserves at least 15, 20 plus minutes. If it's in that time period, it's perfect. I know you said 25, 30 minutes. I'm going to go more of 20 minutes because I think these two guys are just absolute monsters. So they want to get them a little bit more because of the time period. Because you look at it, 5-minute WrestleMania match, a 7-minute Clash in Italy match, culminating that with a little bit more added time and a Hell in a Cell. I just don't think it's going to main event. I'm so frustrated on the fact I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes and CM Punk because think about it. They give Sami Zayn the title. If they really cared about this feud, they would have put the title on Brock Lesnar. He would have beat Sami Zayn at Saturday's main event, and that would have been your main event. But they waited forever for this CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, and now they see the ticket sales going down, so like, we have to throw that as the main event. I don't agree whatsoever with that being main event, but if I'm looking in the minds of WWE, and they Triple H said it on First Take this morning, or like he didn't say it, but like the host said it, that the CM Punk Cody Rhodes the main event of night one, and Triple H didn't say anything else to disagree with that. Obviously, it doesn't look like we're going to find out the match order until closer because Triple H was on First Take today. He didn't say anything about that. I listened, nothing was said. All we know is what matches are going to be on each night. I was fine with it being the second to last match, but after you just said, especially if Brock Lesnar retires, and then have another match after that, when you think of SummerSlam, when you think of WrestleMania, although Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton absolutely was dog water, it at least ended on a cliffhanger with Randy Orton punting the shit out of Cody Rhodes. This is the type of match, especially if Brock, because Brock, I think, already called it quits. Triple H said that on First Take today. I think he's already retired. He just wanted more because he wanted to actually beat Oba Femi because he didn't want to go out like that. He's Brock Lesnar. He can do whatever the hell he wants. If he wants to go out the way Brock Lesnar feels, he should go out. And if he ends up just calling it quits, I don't think he'll do a whole retirement thing. I just think he'll walk away, and people will get that sense if he's done for good. And that needs to be a main event. Even if he doesn't walk away, what a sight it would be, Oba Femi having his hand raised as we go off air, beating Brock Lesnar in one of the best trilogies we've had since WrestleMania. No matter what happens post-match, this should be main evented because CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, they didn't give them enough leeway towards SummerSlam to actually make it. Unless I will say this, and you don't have to agree with me, the only way they actually are able to top this is if they turn Cody Rhodes heel after that match. Or not top it, but the only thing in my mind that would make it make sense for them to make that the main. If Cody Rhodes doesn't turn heel, absolute dog crap, absolute monstrosity, and they completely messed up. And a beautiful thing that they barely had to set up, and it was a beautiful ride. And if they don't do that, it's going to be a complete monstrosity. This should have been the main event, but they want the ticket sales to go up, which they're still not going up. If I lived in Minnesota right now, I'd be going to WrestleMania for under $100 both nights. That just shows you everything you need to know. Maybe a little bit over $100, but still. And they have an opportunity to make this the main event, make it a 20-plus minute Hell in a Cell, one of maybe the greatest Hell in a Cell match you could ever see in WWE history. And it's probably not even going to be the main event because they want ticket sales to be sold between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk in a feud that could be absolutely amazing, but they started it too late for it to be amazing. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, I you know where I stand. You're not wrong. I guess if Cody turned heel, it would make it more entertaining. Because right now, brother, they're both faces. Like, who cares? What are we doing? And Cody Rhodes. They need to turn Cody Rhodes heel. They just need to do it. To me.
I'm going to say this real quick. You didn't even hear me mention Randy Orton. I don't even think that could save it if Randy Orton came back. That's all I have to say. And say this thing one more it's not like they have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. That at least has history that you could have just started that match. It's the end of an era. Roman finally wants to beat Seth. Seth has Roman's number. You don't have to put much into that, and that's what they did. Although the feud hasn't been good, we can understand how everything and how it's kind of tough to build up this. This, they could have had time to build, and they absolutely did nothing with it. And yeah, but go ahead, continue what you were saying.
No, you're totally right. I have nothing to say. I just hope they make the right decision, um, and make this main event. Because, brother, so you said you said you think Cody and Punk are gonna main event. So where does this match fall on the card? Second to last, or do you think they're gonna make it first?
I think it's the best case scenario. If it's not the main event. If it's anything before that, we're cooked. It's over. We're gonna miss an opportunity on an excellent match. I think the only thing that can save it possibly if it is the main event is the second to last match, because at that point we're on to ESPN and they're not going to cut it because it's the first match.
Okay, yeah, but just definitely not first.
100%. All right, you want to move on to night 2 then?
Yeah, let's go night 2.
All right. So night 2,
Oh shoot.
Yeah. We could talk about it real quick.
You see? Do you see how we just both conveniently said let's just move on because it didn't even like pop into our minds. If it was a match, brother, that really stuck out, we would have been like, and here we go, the main event of night.
And this is a match that could be, but they absolutely just threw it in the trash. And they're like, oh, we got to pull out of the trash real quick and just throw something together.
So I don't have much to say about this match, brother.
This is when I'm telling you this right now. This is when you're stuck for freaking dinner. You got nothing new in the house, and you got to pull out the leftovers because
Literally.
the leftovers were good. They had the opportunity to be better, but you threw them out. You brought them out too late, and they're going to be okay.
They're going to be mid, okay? And listen, all I'll say is that I don't think CM Punk's going to lose the title. I think he's going to win.
I agree. He has to win because Cody Rhodes has had too many people. He needs to do something post the championship. I hope that's not freaking Money in the Bank down the road because that's the last thing he needs. He needs to break off the title.
Oh my god!
And CM Punk needs to face these guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else, or
not really? Okay. It should be. The match itself shouldn't be bad. It should be a good match. Just the storyline has just been boring and it's too short to me, too condensed. Like you said, they didn't have enough time. Yeah.
Agree. Now, let's move on to night 2, though. First match. This match I'm actually more excited for than the damn WWE Championship match because at least Finn Balor's getting a chance, and what they've done with Sami Zayn character work-wise has been good. But let me get your thoughts.
I agree. I still, for me, Sami Zayn's boring. But in terms of what they've done to elevate his character in the last, couple months, ever since he got the championship, then they wanted to just give it up to have CM Punk win. It's been more entertaining than whatever he was doing beforehand, right? And the fact that Finn Balor finally, they moved him over to SmackDown. Initially, when he first went to SmackDown, I was like, what are we doing with him? But I'm happy at least he gets a singles match at SummerSlam that actually is worthy of watching because they have thrown Finn Balor to the freaking side for the last 5 years. Ever since he turned heel, it was just been with his entrance music, with the rival. It's just been boring. Judgment Day after Judgment.
The original, honestly, Judgment Day dismantled. Ever since he became the leader of the Judgment Day. Yeah.
Ever since, a leader of Judgment Day, exactly. It's been because before, like I love babyface Finn, I really do, and the crowd can get behind him. And just like brother, as simple as a entrance theme switch and a character switch, he starts doing it's so much easier, but it was so poor before. But this match should be a good match, and I agree. I'm more excited for this match than the women's Fatal Influence and Nikki Bella. I'm sorry. And even for Baron Corbin and Trick Williams, I just really.
We'll get into that.
Because then you already know. Yeah. Okay.
Let me ask you this: Who do you have winning?
Finn Balor.
Really, I have Sami Zayn. I think Finn Balor, although it's amazing that he got into this opportunity, especially if CM Punk retained. We kind of already saw that with the World Heavyweight Championship, and I think Sami Zayn, he has more left in store with CM Punk than Finn Balor does, and I think Sami Zayn does. I think Finn Balor.
I'm manifesting I'm manifesting.
You're
It
manifesting
obvious,
for the Finn Balor.
obviously,
You're manifesting for the
obviously,
Finn Balor title.
it would make more sense, obviously, storyline wise in the history, for them to do CM Punk versus Sami Zayn. I don't want to see it again. I just don't care. The CM Punk Finn Balor feud was good to me. I'd rather watch that, but I will concede the probable choice is Sami Zayn versus CM Punk. The reason why I don't want to see it again is because I feel like it's just I just feel like they need to make things, we talked about this before, less predictable. We're gonna do Sami Zayn and CM Punk. Oh my god. Who's gonna win that match? Oh my god. You're telling me we think there's a possibility that Sami Zayn takes the title off CM Punk? I don't think so. WWE, with the way they're doing things, that's not gonna happen. Now, I don't think it's going to happen with Finn Balor either, but it's more of a chance, I feel like. Have a shock factor, build it up, Finn Balor wins. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to say I think Sami Zayn's going to win, but I just wish I just wish these circumstances were different.
Yeah, I agree. I just think both of these guys, they really could not care less about, but at least they think Sami Zayn has more interesting factors in him if he were to win this match, and I think that's what's going to come down. I hope it's a great match, but I think Sami Zayn's going to walk away with the win. He might even do it in beating tactics because he's that type of guy where he still thinks he's a babyface, but does feel a thing.
That's fair.
But let's move on from that. We'll talk about it real quick. Danhausen, Dominic Mysterio, with the human money hanging on a stick above the ring. I'm just going to ask you this. Who do you have winning?
Who do I have winning? Danhausen. They're not going to have Danhausen lose.
I agree. I think sucks because Dominic Mysterio has a match next month coming up for the AAA championship against El Grande Americano, which he's going to
lose.
Which he just turned on El Grande Americano in AAA on this last episode.
He's going to lose. He's going to lose that too.
It kind of sucks. Yeah.
I'll say this: Dominic Mysterio is kind of in a slump right now in terms of I don't know what they're doing on the main roster. At least I have no clue.
They've kind of ruined him on the main roster. You kind of look back when he won the Intercontinental Championship to now.
I don't know. I mean, it's so bad. Look at the slump. Look at where we are now. And what I will say is this. With Danhausen. Love Danhausen, right? I think he first came into WWE. They brought him in at the wrong segment at the wrong time. Because I remember they brought him in at WrestleMania in the surprise box. Okay, everybody thought it was Chris Jericho.
Chamber.
Yeah. Everybody thought it was Chris Jericho. Okay. And then it was him, and it was kind of just like a letdown. So I think they kind of messed that up. But after that one day, his stock just went higher. And I think
his gimmicks worked, and
I think the cameos that he was doing when it was spontaneous and he would come in the camera at random times was the wave. As soon as they started putting him there too much in actual rivalries and actual things, now it's becoming oversaturated. And
building long-term and building storylines.
Yes. I don't care about this at all. Love Danhausen. Don't care about this. This is like putting Dominic Mysterio versus freaking the Boogeyman just in a random horns, just in a like they shouldn't. He's a comedy character. Leave him in those spots. Like when he would mess up the outcome. Okay. When he would mess up the outcome of matches, that was like crazy. I like that.
Or his match against JD McDonough at Saturday Night's Main Event. That was perfect. Like when you put him in matches, that was good. Like when he had a match with Miz and Kurt Wilson at Backlash and had the mini house and those kind of stuff. But I hope this is just the culmination of Danhausen winning. But at the same time, the whole basis of this thing has been the human monies. So I really don't know if it's going to end if Danhausen wins, but I hope it's the end. I don't know. I'm just interested to see how this match transpires. I also agree Danhausen's going to win, but to be honest,
what do you think about the Raw segment with Joe Hendry? What's the question? I'm just asking.
I hate to make this comparison, but that was WWE 2019 right
there. It's not even like the crowd. It was so cringe. I could not watch.
I know. And then Ryan Garcia comes in. Like, what the hell was all that? That was just a bunch of blasphemy, dude. Like, if I was at that Raw, dude, I'd just be like...
I'd be so mad if we paid for that.
I know. He's so bad. So. But, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Can we get some grievance here for Carmelo Hayes, who's not got cucked out of one premium live event, but now two in the span of 5 or 6 months? A guy who was carrying the United States Championship division all the way up to WrestleMania, then gets the title stolen off him by Sami Zayn. But if you look back at that now, at least they had a storyline with Trick Williams and Sami Zayn. Fortunate Carmelo Hayes got the short end of it. But come on, Baron Corbin, dude, he just came back a few weeks ago. Had one interaction with Carmelo Hayes. I would have been fine if it was Corbin if it was a triple threat, but now Carmelo Hayes isn't even in the match. Like,
Yeah.
I so horribly hope
SmackDown. They have one opportunity. Yep.
That he comes out and forces his way into this match and make it a triple threat. But if that's not the case, we don't have to go much into that. Trick Williams is going to win. Trick Williams is going to get another title defense on his reign and his championship reign.
But then, brother, you see how useless that is? This is WWE's problem. You bring Baron Corbin back, right? Make him look woo, and then have him face Trick Williams. So, mind you, let's set this up. Baron Corbin, before he left, was a jobber. Okay, nobody cares. He comes back. You have him reset. You make him look good. He attacks Trick Williams. He attacks him. And then you put him in a match with Trick Williams and have him lose within 2 weeks. What does that do for him? You brought him back for what? That's not a benefit to have him lose to Trick Williams. That's just stupid. So it's like they should have brought him back in a different area, maybe not for a title, in a different way. Because to bring him back to have him lose is pointless. It's pointless because Trick Williams is gonna win. So it's pointless. Because then what does Corbin do from here? What? I feel like Corbin's gonna end up like Rusev. He's gonna end up like a lot of other people that came back, and they're just going to slowly decline over the months. You're going to see it.
I'm going to break it down for you. Baron Corbin is exactly why they're bringing back Big Cass. They're barely going to have to pay him anything. He's going to be one of those guys that can go into any storyline, and is going to be a much cheaper option than Sheamus, The New Day, and eventually Bayley. That's what it is. That's how That's the unfortunate truth about it.
And You're probably right. You're probably right, yeah.
But let's move on to that because obviously, both Trick Williams, both Carmelo Hayes can get this match, but Baron Corbin hasn't even had a damn match yet. We don't even know if he's going to bring out his old entrance. He literally just popped out of nowhere and now is on one of their WWE's second biggest show. But let's switch it over to a match that is going. You talk about stealing the show with the other match. This is my steal of the show match. We did right here. Penta, Chad Gable, Intercontinental Championship match. A full circle moment for Chad Gable. I know I got you super excited with Javon Evans, but I'm still so excited for this match because we kind of knew it was going to happen and it's going to be an absolute banger. Does Gable get it done in his home in Minneapolis, or does Penta continue his Intercontinental Championship reign?
Yes, he does get it done. And if he doesn't get it done, I think we're both on the same page that let's bring Vince back. Let's switch up something. Let's make the Undertaker the creative for because brother Triple stop the Undertaker. Okay, I think the Undertaker's in creative, right?
No, Undertaker's in creative of AAA. Like
AAA. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And AAA is brother. Okay,
dude, their Triple Mania might be better than anything WrestleMania throughout this past year.
So listen, if Gable doesn't win, it would be such a waste of time. Why would you have this whole thing done, right? The build, the story, it's Minnesota. What he
it's
just
I'm going to say this. It's a year in the damn making.
In the making. It's a year in the making. To have him, and by the way, Penta has done great with the title. And this is the perfect time for him to drop it. Perfect time. He's done great. Done great.
Then he could also be an early favorite for Money in the Bank because he's done more than enough. Or Ray Phoenix is basically dying at this point.
Thank you, Zach.
Give Penta Ray Phoenix and let's get the Lucha Bros back.
And not even just that. If you look at the sucky tag team division and what they're trying to do and the people they need to bring in, I
wouldn't even give them to the tag team division. I would just give them straight to AAA. They don't deserve to be in that shit tag team division.
Listen, I would have them do double duty like they've done to a couple people. Have them do double duty because, brother, the WWE main roster tag team division is absolutely 100% dog water. Okay, which is why I hope, not to change the subject, please have Enzo Amore come back with Big Cass because Zach, let me tell you something. If you just bring back Big Cass, he's going to go downhill so quickly, nobody's going to care. What is he going to do? We've seen singles Big Cass. Nobody will care. The reason why they're bringing him back should only be because Enzo Amore is coming back too. Pair them together, put them in the tag team division. Zach, who's in the tag team division right now? Off the top of your head. And WWE main roster, give me the tag teams.
We got the Damian Priest and Archer. Then we have the Viking Raiders. Then we have Braxium. Then we have who else we got?
Brother, you can stop right there. Okay? That's my point. It's so bad. Let Penta lose. You're only gaining with this with Chad Gable and him winning the Intercontinental Championship, especially with the year he's had. Okay, it should be a great match. Put Penta and Rey Fenix in the tag team division along with Enzo and Big Cass, and that's what we do. And then have Gable carry the title for a minute and show why he's had the best year of his career and why he's going to continue it even without the mask.
I totally agree. This is a culmination made up of 1 year where we saw a storyline build at Chad Gable, lose where he went to his lowest point, had to become a luchador to understand Lucha Libre, then had, I think, the best match of the year, not even in AAA, in WWE with the El Grande Americano match. Now he's back and he understands what he needs to get done and culminate that with an Intercontinental Championship win. And Penta, who, like you said, has an amazing reign and would lose nothing from losing this match. He's still an amazing superstar and he can fit into any storyline. Have Gable win this, complete the storyline, and it's no better place to do it in Minnesota. And the one thing that was actually good about that Monday Night Raw, his promo, just basically spelled out why we got to this point, and he needed to culminate it in his hometown where he was built and where he's going to get a match.
Yep.
So let's talk about these final two matches. Obviously, the interim WWE Women's Championship match. And obviously, we're doing this for SmackDown. I believe that SmackDown match is Lash Legend and Julia. Kind of fill in Lash Legend. There's no way they're going to put Julia in this match. But let me ask you this, Chris, because I have a prediction of who I want to win and who should win and why that. But I want to hear your thoughts on winning this match.
I want to hear your thoughts first.
Okay. This might be a little crazy, obviously, since we have Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill. But if you see it at the top, it's an interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match, which means Rhea Ripley's still technically the title holder until she comes back. If you're doing it in an interim way, who better to give it than freaking Chelsea Green as the interim WWE Women's? I think that would be perfect because it's not like she becomes because I think the whole interim craft is stupid. But if they want to go through that way, who better to be the interim than freaking Chelsea Green? And then when Rhea Ripley comes back, I know that'd be it kind of be like Kofi Kingston and Brock Lesnar all over again. But at the same time, who better to give it to Chelsea Green, have that insane? Because don't forget, when Zack Ryder won the Intercontinental Championship, obviously Matt Cardona now, no one predicted him to win at WrestleMania 32. The pop he got at that one, she would get a massive pop if she won. So obviously she's in a story with Tiffany Stratton. But I think the interim role, Chelsea Green wins it, and then unfortunately has to get squashed by Rhea Ripley and then reset the women's.
The only thing about that, I think initially it would be a great moment and a surprise moment, something that WWE needs. It would be unpredictable. The problem with that, though, is now you're taking away the opportunity for a big time who's the champion type of match with a squash match. Because if anybody else on this list wins, besides Lash Legend or Julia, it's going to be like a big do-up. It could basically be like a main event match. It could be Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley.
Can I counter you with that real quick, though?
Sure.
Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair have built themselves up enough where they need to have a one-on-one feud without the championship. We talk about feuds that can happen without the championship. I was fine with those two not even being in this ladder match and having a one-on-one match at SummerSlam. Those two could fight it out, and then eventually Rhea Ripley has some feuds, and then whoever comes out of that feud on top faces Rhea Ripley.
Sure. I totally agree. I just still think it's pick your poison, right? If we want to build a unpredictability factor, and then just after, it's like we already know what's gonna happen when Rhea comes back, or if you want to have, Charlotte Flair or Tiffany, they win, right? Even like a Tiffany Stratton win and a little double champ action. I don't know. Maybe have that, and then Rhea comes back, and it's who's I don't know. It will just be
Okay. I
but
get what
you
you're saying.
can either way, brother. I'm not. I love your idea. I can do that too.
Picture this. It's Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair fighting at the top of the ladder. Both of them just hate each other so much. And then here comes Chelsea Green pushing them off the ladder onto some
Yeah,
tables. And then Chelsea Green climbs up and wins the women's championship. That
that'll be
would be.
fire.
And you said WWE, we talk about this every damn episode. WWE needs more unpredictability. What better to do it than with freaking Chelsea Green? Because she doesn't have to be a long-term champion. The squash might be a little much, but it could happen. But then she could face Rhea Ripley, have a maybe solid match. And I love the idea of who's the real champion, but we don't have enough steam. When they did that with CM Punk and John Cena, there was steam to that. There'd be no steam to this because Charlotte Flair and
Correct.
Jade Cargill are a more intriguing storyline than whoever they would face between those two. Whoever would face Rhea Ripley.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point.
So,
Good
anything
point.
else you want to throw out about this match? Or
No, so you have was Chelsea Green your want pick, or who do you think will win? Do you think she actually will pull it out, or was that just something you're manifesting?
something I'm manifesting, and if I had to choose anybody else, I think that I talk about this all the time. That's Paxton and Charlotte Flair winning. He's the safe pick, but I think if they wanted to go nuclear and actually put some excitement into this game company, make Chelsea Green the interim WWE.
Got it. Got you.
Let's move on, though, to the main event that we have no disagreement about. It's perfectly in the right spot. Close SummerSlam. The storyline that has 15 years in the damn making between two brothers now turned bitter enemies, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Chris, break down everything. Who do you have winning? How do you have things going?
Well, the final Raw, a lot of people say that when, and it's been proven to be true in most cases, when you have two opponents facing off at a PLE, pay-per-view as they used to call it, and on the Raw before, the SmackDown before, whoever gets the upper hand is usually the loser. Okay, last Monday on Raw, if I'm not mistaken, Roman Reigns took a stomp, okay, to end the show.
Onto the steel chair.
Yes. This, you can take from it that Seth Rollins got the upper hand to close out before SummerSlam. Roman Reigns is going to win. That's one way you can look at it. Either way, I don't think Seth Rollins is winning. I think Roman Reigns is going to keep the title. Will it be clean? I'm not sure. Because I think you can build more of a story going into another pay-per-view, whether it be War Games or whatever, if you have, maybe the bloodline interfere in some capacity. I don't know, brother, because if you just do like a CM Punk Roman Reigns type thing in WrestleMania, where it's just a clean victory, Roman Reigns just beat Seth Rollins clean, I don't know what that would do. Where do we go from there? Then now Seth Rollins' stock is low. Roman Reigns just won again. Now without the bloodline. So you're gonna have him win without the bloodline. Imagine if you had the bloodline. I feel like you have to have the bloodline interfere, and then you create more of something, brother. Zach, if you don't have the bloodline interfere, what are you just gonna have Roman Reigns win clean? Then what? Tell me what? What happens from there? Seth Rollins goes and what do you think?
Keep talking. I gotta do something real quick.
Okay, that's all I would say, because there's no way Seth Rollins defeats Roman Reigns and takes the title off of him, and Seth Rollins would have nowhere else to go right now. He's at the highest of the high. Okay, he's in the running for the World Heavyweight Championship. He's not gonna go back to SmackDown and face CM Punk again. I don't think we've already seen that 3 times. So Roman Reigns, I think, wins by interference or by cheating or by something. This might be the last one-on-one match we get between them, but I think this is going to continue through the year.
Okay, I agree with you on the one, but I just real quick. I had to disconnect the mic quick because let me break it down for you, like completely unedited. I'm wearing his shirt right now. I don't think he's going to win, but you brought up the point about how Seth Rollins got the better of him, but also Roman Reigns doesn't seem completely paranoid. Think about it. Roman Reigns had the upper hand, but he wanted to hit Seth Rollins so bad with that steel chair. I don't think we're going to get a Royal Rumble 2022 where Roman wins by disqualification. I think this match does not need the freaking bloodline. This match, we saw with what interference did to the main event in WrestleMania. We got the freaking shit show of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes with interferences. These two need to battle it out because this is literally the last time we could see these two at their freaking prime going one-on-one for the championship. Roman Reigns, let me bring you back. Seth Rollins could have got the Vision involved when he faced Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel, but he said to stay away because he needed to beat Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns is in the same situation as Seth Rollins was back all the way in October. Roman Reigns needs to beat Seth Rollins clean to prove that he can beat Seth Rollins one-on-one when it comes down to it. Because Roman Reigns, he might be the A+ guy. He might be number one and Rollins might be number two. But Seth Rollins has his number. And he hasn't been able to beat him clean. Seth Rollins has his number, like I said. And for Roman Reigns to prove that he's number one and Rollins will always be number two, he needs to beat him clean in this match wholeheartedly. It's going to be a banger. I'm so excited for it. Roman Reigns is going to win this match. But I wholeheartedly believe no effing bloodline, no fucking interferences. This needs to be a one-on-one match to decide who the best of all time is between these two, because this is the modernization. I don't care if people disagree with it. When people were talking about Cena and Rock, this is the modern day between those freaking two. Because Roman Reigns might go on and win this. He's might have the title to WrestleMania. But I wholeheartedly believe this, and I say it time and time again. This might be the last time we see these two great superstars going one-on-one after their storied freaking history at their prime for the final time, and it needs to be an absolute banger. It just needs to end with a clean finish, and it just needs to end, I guess, with Roman Reigns holding the title high, and that's how we end SummerSlam. No effing cliffhangers, no interferences, just pure guys that have so much damn history, ending it the way it needs to be in a one-on-one clean match, winner decided by who is the better freaking superstar.
Ooh, Mr. Seth Rollins himself coming out. Listen, I can't say you're wrong because, like you said, Roman Reigns does have something to prove since Seth Rollins seems to have his number. I'm just excited to see if that is the case. I'm excited to see what Seth Rollins does after. That's my only thing. I'm excited to see what happens. But
yeah,
clean match between these two, I won't fuss at it. I'll take it. I will take it most definitely. Also I was looking at I saw Roman Reigns' dates after SummerSlam. It just came out, and he's there. Like, it seems like he's definitely gonna take the W. I don't see Seth Rollins winning at all. But yeah, shock factor, unpredictability. Everybody's predicting Roman Reigns wins. If Seth Rollins takes the title, that would be insane. But I don't see it happening, and I think there's more story with Roman Reigns keeping the title, especially with the bloodline behind him and all that stuff. So, but brother, it should be a great match. This, cause hopefully it's not a disappointment. It should be like the match of the weekend besides Brock and Oba. It should be a really good match, just like Roman Reigns versus CM Punk was at WrestleMania. And I think this might even be better because I think their styles match better than CM Punk and Roman Reigns did. I think they meshed better in the ring, and their chemistry is better. So I'm excited. Tribal Chief OTC, my Tribal Chief, okay.
And I'm going to say this real quick. Obviously, I'm getting very emotional about this because, obviously, growing up as a WWE fan, John Cena was my guy. But wholeheartedly, when I was a diehard WWE fan, these two guys were my guys. I love Seth Rollins and his work with The Authority. I like Roman Reigns when I know he was terrible, ended up at points as a babyface, but these were my two guys. I saw them feud and build their personalities as characters, and now culminating this. And I want to also throw it back. When did we see this match? We saw this match 10 years ago at Money in the Bank. Same scenario, same champion. Roman Reigns won the championship because he beat Sheamus. I'm trying to think. He won it all the way back in Survivor Series, lost to Sheamus, won it back from Sheamus, lost. But Seth Rollins was the champion, never lost the championship, and then beat Roman Reigns all the way in Money in the Bank in 2016. 10 years later, we're back at the same situation. I think Roman Reigns is going to win. No Silvatu, no effing bloodline. Two men fighting it out. I'm telling you, it's Silvatu the next night, for crying out loud. But if this is the final time these two brothers battle it out, I don't need it ending on a freaking cliffhanger of Seth Rollins getting interviewed. This is not Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, Clash in the Castle 2022. This is a different freaking level. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns had a stellar match. There was make sense why there was interference. This is a different level. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, no interferences. Roman should win, but I'm excited for it either way. But any closing thoughts you got here, Chris, as we wrap things up?
I'm excited for SummerSlam. My main thing about this, and I think this should be like talked about more in the IWC. And I'm gonna end on this, Zach. First of all, I'm gonna say that Steph Curry is the greatest point guard of all time, and he's gonna get a chip before he retires. But what I will say is
the Sixers have anything to do with it, but go ahead.
No, but listen. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar needs to main event night 1, and that's the end of the story. And if they don't, it's a disservice. And if they don't, it leads to even more why WWE does not know how to create new stars and doesn't want. This would be the best passing of the torch moment from Brock Lesnar to Oba Femi in the main event, as Oba Femi is going to be a main event star. Don't give CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, who's had this poor rivalry and has got nothing behind it, main event over Brock and Oba. Reward them for what they've been able to accomplish. Reward them and have Brock go out in the sunset. Reward it. Doing Punk and Cody does nothing for the locker room. It just shows that WWE loves doing the same guys, and it makes no sense because they're both faces and the story has been so boring. He dropped the biggest thing. Cody Rhodes dropped the microphone in front of CM Punk. Oh, oh my gosh. It was crazy. Like, Oba Femi, Brock Lesnar, night 1, main event, brother. You know what you can do, considering the story? Have Cody Rhodes and CM Punk do more matches down the line, maybe this year, definitely this year. Have them do another match. Have that match freaking open. I don't care. That's what I would do. Open the show. Have that match open the show, bro. That is what I would do. I would have them open and have Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi close Hell in a Cell. Zach, you only bring out Hell in a Cell rarely now. It's not a pay-per-view anymore. It's not even a once-a-year thing anymore. You're going to not have the Hell in a Cell main event. That would be a disservice to the WWE fans, and it would be piss poor on WWE creative. That's all I'll say. But besides that, SummerSlam should be a great show, brother. Hopefully.
These are my closing thoughts, and we'll wrap it up right after this. WWE had an amazing SummerSlam 2025. Both main events ended on absolute cliffhangers. I agree, Oba Femi, Brock Lesnar would have been a great main event, and both nights could have been absolute shit, but the main event could have saved the whole damn show. It's still going to be great, but WWE better lock in, because if they mess up this SummerSlam, I don't know. I don't care what they throw out after that. If they mess up this SummerSlam, they're cooked. It's over, and I don't know what else to say. They better deliver.
AEW.
I don't know, man. We'll see. So, but this is all we got for you guys. We'll be back for our SummerSlam reactions, whatever those happen. But I also want to let you guys know that I'm actually going to TNA tomorrow and Friday. So be on the lookout for some videos from that. But other than that, I hope you guys, and obviously Jeff Hardy, Nick Nemeth, TNA World Championship. Maybe LeBron will be there to host the title up. That'd be nice. So, but other than that, Zach,
a title that he hasn't won yet. A title that he hasn't deserved yet. He hasn't won no title yet. You have to get past first the New York Knicks. Yeah.
Okay. We'll see. Nah, if you love this out of me and Chris, you'll love what we have in store when September, October starts. I won't let anything know because that's Crystal's thing, but be on the lookout for that. I'll make sure to let you guys know when that's up. But Zach and Chris signing out here with CWS WWE Breakdown. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys, and peace out.